you know, to be honest, the first Sunday of the year, when I look at everybody, I think, ew, ew. I don't even like them, and I don't know them. And then, about 2 months later, you are so precious to me. If you need a comic or you need me to come to a play if I can, man, you are so down in my heart, and you never go away. So all of you have my email because I send you notes. So if ever you want to talk about anything, if there's anything I can pray for, you want to say, Jolly, I'm having trouble with this, just send me an email and we'll get in touch. And you can do that the day I go, you know where. Graduate forever. Yeah, hey, trouble, I just sneaked in. And of course our wonderful teens, oh, what would we have done, who were once you. You know, I think in the summer there may be small group Bible studies, which is how this body became buddies. So if the church offers those with an intern and you're around, sign up. If you can't come some weeks, doesn't matter. But you begin to have wonderful times together. Like at family camp last week. Who of you were at family camp? Did you not have fun knowing each other?
I heard something sad about family camp.
What?
One of my friends was a drink and now she's on crutches.
Well, I heard awesome things. Some of you hung out together and had a great time. Okay, so all year we've been telling you all the stuff that Jesus wants to give you. And you know, we started over here with the whole purpose Jesus came was to give you max life. And all you had to do was choose him in order to get that. And so now we've talked about all the things that he gives you. And of course, the supreme is to be your Savior. And if anybody in here has not yet asked him to be your Savior, which means you go to him and say, Jesus, I'm really sorry for all my sin yesterday and what I'll do today and tomorrow. Please forgive it. And I'm glad you died on the cross and that made it okay. And come into my life and be my king forever. Then you're adopted into the family instantly, forever, on earth, in heaven, and you get all this stuff because he has all the power. Remember that word? What's the big power word? Omnipotent. And what about knowing? Omniscient. He knows everything about you. And you're the apple of his eye, and he loves you. So he wants to be your guide, your confidant, your trunk, every one of these things. Well, now, one more today is he is your provider or supplier. And darling, you know I say every week, if you just get this in your head, this is the most important thing. Well, obviously, this is the most important thing. Because when he becomes your Savior, you're adopted into the family. Baptism doesn't do it. Giving money, teaching ladybugs, going to camp doesn't do it. But when you yourself say, I want you to come in, forgive my sins, and be my Savior, then it's his job to do that in your life, the rest of your life. You would say, who's your provider? Who's your provider on earth? Supplies what you need. Yeah. Parents. Yeah. What else? Who else? Yeah.
Grandmas and grandpas.
Grandmas and grandmas. Yeah.
Family.
Family. Okay, the reality is really, once he becomes your Savior and you're in his family, your life is his problem, his job. And here it is. My God will supply everything I need through Jesus. Now, the through Jesus simply means you've asked him to be your Father. So he's got all the power. You know he owns everything. He made the world. He made man and woman. All the money, all the wealth. There is nothing, nada, that Jesus doesn't have. He owns it all. So if you need something, what do? You say, Jesus, help, I need it. And it's his job to provide and supply. Okay, you'll find this is in Philippians. So let's say it together. My God, come on. My God will supply everything I need through Jesus. So if you're his, as of this time, or when you said yes, and lots of us did at our sleepover, it's his job to provide everything. So tell me some things that you might need, you think. Now, he might know you don't need it. I see there's no Cheetos here this morning. I thought I needed those. Sometimes he says, no, you don't need that, or not right now, or something else. And sometimes you have to wait a long time. What are some of the things you need? Yeah.
Clean water to drink.
Okay. That's his job to find out. What else? Yeah.
Food.
Food? Yeah.
I have.
Okay, what else? What are some stuff you need?
I need friends.
Friends. Oh, me too. I once needed a husband. Remember the guy I thought I needed? I need Dawn. And he said, no, Dawn. And what do you think I said? I'm so mad at you, God. But man, he brought darling Dick, and I think, oh, so glad I got him. So he may do something different than you think, but it will be just what you need. Yeah.
You need the Bible.
You need the Bible. Do you have it? Yes. When you leave here and you don't have me and nobody's haranguing you anymore to do TV, do you have what you need in the Bible? You've got all his words. And by the way, 2 important things about him being your provider are, number 1, God does not lie. And I'm going to give you the TD for that today. So don't worry, when he says he'll do it, he can't lie. He's not a man. And he does not change. Oh, and there's another one. Same yesterday and forever. I'll give you that one. So before you even believe this, you got to know, okay, he says he's going to do this. I don't think what he's providing for me really looks so hot. But he says he will provide what I need. And he's not going to change. Do you change your mind or change your personality or change your attitude? Or how many times in a day? Yeah, or in an hour. Well, he isn't going to do that. So if he says, Lex, he'll provide what you need. Say, but this doesn't look like what I need. He will. So now I've said this so much. My God will supply everything I need through Jesus. When anything comes up, like someone says, oh, would you come and give a talk at this? And I think, oh, I can't do that. I think, oh, you said you'd provide. Just what I need. I'm doing this math problem. I don't. He said he'd provide. And you just say that to him. If you say that enough times, it goes in your ear, into your brain, and down into your heart. Pretty soon, anytime anything comes up, 20 times an hour, you say, God, you said you'd provide. I'm your kid. I believe you will do that. Now, sometimes it takes a long time. You know, there was an old guy named George Mueller. Don't worry, we've got tons of time. Who ran all these orphanages in England. He was a fabulous guy. He prayed for everything. And when he prayed, stuff happened. Come on and go. And he prayed for 5 of his friends to become Christians. And 2 became Christians, asked Jesus to be their Savior within 2 months. 1, it took 3 years. 1, he kept on praying, it took 6 years. Talk about the need. So it's not always right away. No Cheetos here right away. And then he died, and the last 2 were not believers. Guess what happened at George Mueller's funeral? They became believers. So you ask what is a good thing, and even if you're asking wrong, he'll turn it to be what's right. I need her to be my friend. Well, that's a great idea, but maybe it's her. So, you know, but you put the need out there, then it's his job. So when you start to worry, what does he say? Don't, is there something here? Don't worry, ask. Here, don't worry about anything. Ask Jesus. And I even sometimes say, you said you'd provide, God. You know, he doesn't mind if you yell at him. He's bigger than that. Or cry. Or stomp your feet. And he hears you. He loves you. He knows what you're like, that we're kids. So tell him. And then say, that wasn't what I thought. Yeah.
I read the biography on George Mueller.
Did you really? It's amazing what he did. And you know, I need money here, I need kids there, I need clothing there. And then these 5 friends, and they didn't all become believers and he even died. So don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. And if you're praying for the wrong thing, it just won't happen. An old ladybug teacher, actually she was a young woman here, fabulous. She even kind of put all her ideas together. Her husband's been without a job. He was laid off a year and a half ago. Let me tell you, they've got needs. Money. They run through their savings. I said, well, you're going to provide their needs. You said you would, everything they need. And it hasn't happened yet. They've run through their savings. Well, would you believe Friday, our unemployment money that the government has, and they said, you can't have it. After a year and a half, the judge changed his mind. and they got the money they need now to eat, pay their rent. So he'll do it in really funny ways. I needed a place to live when my darling Dick died. I thought, well, I did. Well, Julie said we've got an extra bedroom. Come and live here. Well, it's not my first choice. I'd rather have my darling Dickie. But you know, it's been great. So you have the right, the minute you ask him to be yours, to say, I believe it. I know you're going to do it. I didn't think it would turn out like this. Maybe you want to go to a certain college and he puts you at a different one. Believe me, he will make it the best. Because he loves you so much, he never wants you to have something crummy when you're his kid. You just got to be in the family. Then it's all yours. Okay, now to emphasize this today, I want us to listen to a song about this. My God will supply everything I need through Jesus. He is my provider. And in the Old Testament, when they did that, they called God, Jehovah in Hebrew was, God in Hebrew is Jehovah. And the word provide is Jireh. And then there are a couple other words that you're going to hear in this song. It's always Jehovah, meaning God. And in the Hebrew language, there's another one, Jehovah Rapha. And that means he heals. So one, Jireh is provide, and Rapha is healer. And is it over here? Where's healer? Oh yeah. So in the Old Testament they call it Rapha. And one other is the God, Jehovah, Shammah. That's a funny Hebrew word. And that means God is with me. And that's what we've got over here in your confidant. He never leaves you. If I'm not hearing about you can whisper to him and he hears it all. So you're going to hear this in this song. This is not our type of music. So scoot over this way a little now so you can see this thing. And this is what we call gospel music by, a little more guys so you can see this funny old lady singing. So here, pass these out to each other. And if there aren't enough, just look on with each other. So this is this lady singing about this very thing. In gospel music, they sing the same thing over and over and over, and that's what's going to happen. But it gets it in your brain. So tomorrow when you're in math or you're trying out for select soccer, Boeing is going to come in, my God will provide everything I need. If he thinks I should be in select soccer, I won't be in it, but I'll be in something else. So everybody, pass them back so everybody can see or share. So this is a choir that started out with a bunch of nobodies who didn't know how to read music. The director doesn't know how to read music. In a church in Brooklyn, in the worst place of drugs, alcohol, prostitution, murder, and all these people who thought that God had not provided for them came there really to get money or to get well or to get off drugs. And they experienced God meeting their needs. So when they sing, they're so passionate. It's the same words over and over. Everybody see a copy? Our teens need one back there. All right, let's see if this works. So this, oh, I gotta tell you what. They learned to sing so well that one day there was a cancellation at Carnegie Hall in New York, and they said, would you like to bring your choir here? Now they sing in Carnegie Hall and all over the world all the time. They still don't have any music because the lady can't read music. But they have music in their heart, and they love Jesus because he's provided for them. And if I ever see you and you say, oh, he doesn't provide, I'll pull your hair. I'll make you come back again. So this is Carnegie Hall.